My name is Sophia. I was 14 years old when I died. For 2 years, I had been fighting cancer. At first, I believed I would get better. The doctors said I had a chance. My parents stayed strong. I went through chemo, radiation, everything they told me would help. But it didn't. I got worse. The hospital became my second home. My hair fell out. My body got weaker. I could see it in my parents' eyes. The fear, the sadness, the way they forced themselves to smile even when they wanted to cry. I tried to be strong for them. But deep down, I knew I wasn't going to make it. I was lying in my hospital bed, barely able to move. Every breath felt heavy. My mom was sitting beside me, holding my hand. My dad had fallen asleep in the chair next to us. I wanted to tell them I loved them one last time, but I was too tired. And then, suddenly, I felt light. The pain was gone. I opened my eyes and saw my own body. I was floating above my hospital bed. My mom was crying, shaking my hand. My dad woke up looking panicked, calling for the doctors, but I wasn't there anymore. I felt something pulling me away, not in a scary way, but like I was being guided, like I was supposed to go. And then I saw the light. The light wasn't just light, it was love, peace, warmth, joy. I felt it pulling me in, wrapping around me like a hug, and suddenly, I wasn't in the hospital anymore. I was standing in the most beautiful place I had ever seen. The sky was golden. The grass was soft beneath my feet. Flowers bloomed in colors I had never seen before. The air smelled like sunshine and fresh rain. I wasn't sick. I wasn't weak. I felt more alive than I had ever felt before. And then I heard a voice filled with love, kindness, and power. Sophia. I turned around, and there he was, Jesus. I turned around slowly, my heart pounding. There, standing before me, was Jesus. I knew it was him, not because someone told me, but because my soul recognized him instantly. He wasn't just a man. He wasn't just light. He was love itself. His presence felt like the warmest embrace, the gentlest sunrise, the purest joy. I had never met him before, yet I felt like I had always known him. Tears filled my eyes. Jesus, I whispered. He smiled. Yes, Sophia, I have been with you all along. I didn't feel afraid. I didn't feel nervous. All I felt was peace. I looked down at my hands. They were healthy, strong. I touched my head. My hair was back. I wasn't sick anymore. I felt whole. Jesus watched me with kindness in his eyes. You don't have to be afraid anymore. You are home. My breath caught in my throat. Home? For the first time, I looked around, not just at the beauty, but at the feeling of belonging. I had spent years fighting, suffering, feeling trapped in my own body, but here I felt free. And I knew this was where I was always meant to be. But then a thought hit me. What about my mom and dad? I asked. Jesus' face grew gentle. They will miss you. They will grieve, but I will be with them. And so will you. I swallowed hard. But they won't see me. He nodded. No, not in the way they did before, but love never dies, Sophia. Every time they think of you, every time they feel you in their hearts, you will be there. I blinked back tears. Will they be okay? Jesus took my hands in his. Yes. It will take time, but they will find peace, and one day they will be here too. I let out a shaky breath. So, this is heaven? Jesus smiled. Yes, and there is so much more to see. He stepped aside, and what I saw took my breath away. Jesus stepped aside, and I saw everything. I had thought heaven was just clouds and golden gates, but it was so much more. It was alive. The sky was brighter than the sun, but didn't hurt my eyes. The air was filled with music, not from instruments, but from everything. The trees, the wind, the rivers, they all sang. And the love. I could feel it everywhere. I looked at Jesus, my voice barely a whisper. This is real? He smiled. More real than anything you've ever known. I took a step forward, feeling the grass beneath my feet. It felt softer than anything on earth. In the distance, I saw people laughing, hugging, running toward each other. Some were reunited with family members, others were dancing, singing, filled with pure joy. I saw children playing. I saw elderly people who looked young again. No one was sick. No one was sad. No one was dying. For the first time, I truly understood. This was home. As I stood there, taking it all in, Jesus walked beside me. "Sophia," he said gently, "do you understand now?" I turned to him. Understand what? He gazed into my eyes, and suddenly, memories flooded my mind. I saw my life, every moment of pain, every time I had cried, wondering why I had to suffer, why I had to be sick, why I had to die so young. And then, Jesus showed me the truth. Every tear I had cried, he had been there. Every night I had prayed for healing, he had held me. Even in the moments I felt alone, I had never been alone. Tears streamed down my face. Why did I have to suffer? Jesus reached out and wiped my tears away. You see it now, don't you? Your life was never about the sickness, it was about the love. Suddenly, I saw all the people I had touched, the nurses who had cared for me and left the hospital changed because of my kindness. The other kids in the hospital who found hope because I smiled, even when I was hurting. My parents who learned how to love deeper because of me. My life had mattered, not because of how long I lived, but because of how much love I gave. I covered my mouth, overwhelmed. So, it wasn't meaningless? Jesus smiled. Nothing done in love is ever meaningless. I let out a soft laugh, shaking my head. I was so scared to die. Jesus nodded, because the world teaches people to fear death. But death is not the end, Sophia. It is just the beginning. I felt peace settle in my heart. I wasn't afraid anymore. Then Jesus looked at me with sadness in his eyes. I felt my stomach twist. What is it? He reached out and took my hand. Sophia, you have a choice. I swallowed. What do you mean? His voice was filled with love. You can stay here, or you can go back. I froze. Back? I saw a vision of my hospital room, my mother sobbing over my body, my father gripping my hand, my doctors shaking their heads. I turned to Jesus, my heart pounding. But I don't want to go back. I'm finally free. I'm finally happy. He nodded. Yes, but your story isn't over yet. I felt a lump in my throat. But I'm just a kid. What difference can I make? Jesus smiled. More than you could ever imagine. I looked back at the beauty of heaven, the joy, the peace, the love. And then I looked at my family, my mother, my father, their broken hearts. I took a deep breath, and I made my choice. I looked at Jesus, then back at my family. My heart ached. Heaven was perfect. There was no pain, no sadness, no sickness. I was finally free. But my parents, they were breaking. I could feel their grief, their desperation, their love. Jesus squeezed my hand. You don't have to go back, Sophia, but if you do, you will not be alone. Tears filled my eyes. Will I still remember all of this? He smiled sadly. Some of it, but not everything. You will remember enough. I looked at heaven one last time. The peace, the beauty, the love. Then I closed my eyes and whispered, I want to go back. The moment I made my choice, I felt myself being pulled downward, back toward my body. It felt heavy, slow, like sinking into deep water. I heard voices, crying, beeping machines, my mother's sobs. Then, a gasp. I opened my eyes. Everything was blurry. The hospital lights were harsh. And then, I heard the most beautiful sound. My mom screaming my name. Sophia! Oh my God! She's back! The room exploded into chaos. Doctors rushed in. Nurses yelled for machines. My dad dropped to his knees, sobbing. I tried to speak, but I was too weak. But in my heart, I knew. I had been given a second chance. I spent weeks recovering. My doctors had no explanation. One moment I had flatlined. No heartbeat, no brain activity. Gone. And then I was back. It's a miracle, my mom whispered one night, brushing my hair back as I rested. I smiled softly. Yeah, it really is. I didn't tell them everything, not at first, but as time passed, I began to share. I told them about the light, the peace, the love. I told them about Jesus. I told them that death wasn't something to be afraid of because it wasn't the end. And as I spoke, I saw hope return to their eyes. Something in me changed that day. I didn't waste time on things that didn't matter. I loved deeper. I forgave faster. I smiled more because I knew what waited on the other side. I still faced challenges. My cancer was still there. My body was still weak, but my spirit was strong. And every person I met, every doctor, every nurse, every scared child in that hospital, I told them about love. Not just any love. The love I had felt in heaven, the love I had felt in Jesus, because I knew it was real. And one day, whether in a year or 10 or 50, I would go back, and this time, I wouldn't have to leave. If you are hearing my story, I need you to know this. There is more. More than this life, more than pain, more than sickness. There is love, there is peace, there is Jesus. Maybe you're scared, maybe you're hurting. Maybe you're wondering why life is so hard. I understand. But please, don't give up, because I have seen what waits for us on the other side, and it is more beautiful than anything you could ever imagine. One day we will all go home, and when that day comes, I'll see you there. One day we will all go home, and when that day comes, I'll see you there.